we are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of your film, which impacted, moved audiences around the world, 65 Red Roses, which you co-directed with Philip Lyle.
For people who have not seen the film, 65 Red Roses is about a young woman named Ava Marquardt, who was 23 years old, and she had cystic fibrosis. When kids are little, they can't pronounce cystic fibrosis, so they learn to say 65 roses instead. So that's where the title of the film came from. And so Ava was basically on the wait list for a double lung transplant when we started filming with her. She'd been given a pager and told, if the pager goes off, you have a second chance at life, and if we can't find you a donor, you have less than a year to live. And so the stakes of the story when we started filming were, life and death. And then the other kind of component to it, which was really interesting to us, was it was 2007 when we started making the film. And online relationships and this idea of social media is still fairly new. Mm-hmm. And when CF patients, for a lot of CF patients, they can't be around each other because of the spread of infections and superbugs. And so Ava had found a portal to kind of unleash her whole self, the self that was dealing with what's waiting for transplant and CF through online, through her blog. And so she made two friends in the States, Meg and Kina, who are in different stages of transplant and dealing with it very differently. But these three girls had formed a friendship online, and were there to support each other through the whole experience. And so the film was about Ava going through transplant. And when we finished the film in 2009, it premiered at Hot Docs. It had a huge screening at Vancouver International Film Festival, where it won 3 awards, including the Audience Award for Best Canadian Feature.
I voted.
Thanks. Thank you. So that was a pretty huge deal for a documentary to take that spot in terms of Canadian feature, and then right after that we got a call that Oprah had seen the film, and she was starting a documentary club, and she invited the film to be a part of her launch of her documentary club on OWN. So it was the only Canadian film selected to be a part of that. And so that, for us, the whole goal of the film, beyond making a compelling, moving film, was to spread the word about the importance of organ donation. Mm-hmm. And what we were able to see was really the reach of that, because in Canada, CBC released the film nationally, and it had this huge, film festival run. But we were told by BC Transplant that as a result of the film and Ava's story getting out there, BC had the lowest organ donation rates in Canada, and they credited the film with helping to triple organ donation rates in BC. So that was one amazing impact from the film. And then Oprah decided to air the film in April, which is Organ Donation Awareness Month, and ran PSAs that we made, telling people the importance of becoming an organ donor. So we had this amazing group of people supporting the film and believing in the message and believing in Ava's story. And she unfortunately passed away right before we got that call from OWN. And one of the things that we were lucky enough to do was to go back into the film and change the ending for that. When we screen it in Vancouver, it'll be the first time that people see the whole film.
Thank you. This film obviously is powerful. Even just speaking about the film is evocative. And seeing the film is that much more so. Looking forward to seeing this now, and the versions that you've made that we haven't seen even under such circumstances. There's something to be said about legacy and about serving a message and a life forward, which...
so it's, for Phil and I, it's been incredible to 10 years after the release of the film to get to bring the film back to Vancouver. Ava was so proud of the city. Yeah. She loved the city so much. And to be able to, with the support of the DGC and Onni and the Transplant Research Foundation of BC, we've basically been able to come together to have this 10-year anniversary screening. We have a special musical guest. We are going to have inspirational speakers, and all the proceeds will be going back to the Transplant Research Foundation. So it's an amazing moment for us. We were just invited recently to Lawn Summer Nights, which is a fundraising event that was inspired completely by Ava and the film, and they've gone on to raise over $3 million for CF research. So it kind of just shows you the impact that Ava's story has had and continues to have. And I think as a documentary filmmaker, that's so important for us for me and Phil, is that the film didn't just end when we stopped, shooting. Her story has gone on even beyond her own life.
And a few things that you mentioned there was in 2007 was sort of the advent leading up to a tipping point of the burst of social media and social connections. And I think it's interesting to think about how in a film like this, where there is an opportunity for social movement, there is an opportunity to impact and have people do something about it. It's so heightened and magnified with social media. Do you have plans now, when you do a re-release, to do something that can, take all that, but more?
Yeah, I think the goal is, the film, when we released it, the landscape is so different, and Ava was so ahead of the game because she understood the importance of connecting with people through social media. That was her thing. And so for us, it's exciting because it's the first time we're going to be able to digitally release the film. It's the first time people will be able to actually purchase the film online and be able to stream it. And so that's really, that's really exciting. And I think what surrounds that is this idea of really creating momentum and really promoting, the film and the message. And, to us, those things go hand in hand. And it costs nothing for people to, share the fact that they're an organ donor and encourage other people to register. So it's, to me, it's, it's such an easy thing to do. And it's a way to engage and create actual change just with the click of a button.
We've seen the rise of this message about organ donation, especially this year, especially in BC. There was a young hockey coach named Stephen Gillis, and he raised for kidney awareness, so much awareness about the organ donation and signing in to a mandatory. It's really incredible the timing of all of this.
So Steve's a friend of mine, and he's going to be speaking at the reception for the film. So his story, definitely made me think of Ava, and what he was able to do through social engagement was amazing. And so we're excited to have Steve, Stephen be part of it.
I'm going to tag Stephen in this post. It's an incredible side story to look at Stephen's life, but it does come down to community, and it comes down to individuals who know that they have an opportunity, whether it's their own journey or sharing that of someone else's, to make a difference.
And I think when you put all of yourself into something and you get to see what you've made have real reach and really have people connect, that is a feeling that, I treasure that feeling, and in some ways you'll spend your whole career just always wanting to strive for that again, because it is the ultimate feeling of, to me, success is to, put all of yourself into something and then be able to share it and have people actually respond. And I think that's for me why we made that film.
It sounds like you bring a lot of integrity and sense of duty to your work, which is phenomenal, and which is why you're a DGC BC director. I'm really, really inspired by this contribution that you've made to film. The film is incredible. The film has moved thousands and thousands and thousands of people from First Weekend Club. We just want to say congratulations on it to you and Lyle, or Philip Lyle, who's not here. Just a congratulations on it being remembered, and in the film being remembered, Ava being remembered. And we will share more of this information with you. And thanks to the DGC BC for making sure that films like this can go on and can continue to impact lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you.